Okay, so what we have is a really nice start to a raw food salad. Absolutely beautiful, will make you feel 100%. Now I'm going to stop being silly and act my real self and tell you exactly what I'm doing. Anyway, so here it is. I've basically got some mushrooms, and I've actually kept the stalks because for some reason I kind of like the stalks, you know. I've got some little mini tomatoes in here. Now this is very simple, you know, and it can seem like salad's like really boring, you know. But it isn't, and I've got a lot of energy and I'm feeling a lot better after having fallen off the wagon and, like, you know, ate some rubbish chocolate brownies that had I keep forgetting the name of the stuff that had in it. Damn it, what was it called? What was it called? Don't know. Chocolate, lots of salt, things like that, basically. Stuff that was just like, bam, overloading our organs like mad, you know, so it had to go. And I had a couple of days of eating raw again, and now the energy has come back and I'm just like, yes, thank you, life. And that's how you should feel, like, thank you, yes. I feel inspired, you know, I feel motivated to do something. I actually went out for a run this morning. I've eaten nothing. Whereas, like, when I was eating loads of potatoes and that, you know, with loads of salt on, I wanted more and more. Oh. But actually, you know, I had no energy, no enthusiasm to do anything, and I was just sat in front of the computer going. So I don't want to go back there. It's all good. I've learnt a lot from it. But anyway, so this is what I do with my salads. I have a nice few ingredients. I'll show you what I'm using. So that's my tomatoes and mushrooms. Tomatoes give it flavour. Mushrooms is kind of quite meaty, which is nice for when you've got just salad all the time and it feels really boring, you know. So there's a lot of things we can put in there. Most of the stuff I'm using is organic, so but I'll give it a little wash anyway. The carrots, a little bit of sweetness for those people who like their sweet things. Now it's quite funny, you'd think carrots aren't really sweet, you know, but actually they are pretty sweet. So, I mean, I've had an issue with like dried fruit and that, and I just love it. Although I end up having so much that I kind of feel a bit bleh, you know. But that's the thing, it's trying to find foods which like really balance the system and don't overload it, because as soon as you overload a certain organ, whether it's your brain, whether it's your gut, whatever it is, you lose energy because the system's having to fight, you know, it's having to fight to work with it. So it can really overload it. I'm just going to see if this is still going, because I've got this like held in a little vice, this camera at the moment, and I was thinking, the vice is touching the screen and it seemed to have stopped it before. But anyway, so it's keeping the high water content in the foods, so that you know, so that you're hydrated all the time, basically. You don't have to like guzzle down bucketfuls of water, you know. Anyway, so yeah, what was I saying? Sweet foods, you know. So I'm trying to keep my sugars down because my system just, I mean, I have cravings for it, and it isn't my system craving it. It's the other energies which are craving that, or parasites, whatever. Scientifically you'd call it parasites. For everything that exists in the physical world, there's a counterpart in the spirit world. So the fact that parasites exist in the body, which we know about, which have their own feelings, which make you be compelled to go to the shop and buy rubbish that you don't even want. But those parasites, I can see one grinning at me just then actually. I don't usually say that on camera actually, but I literally just saw something grinning at me then, and that's one of the beings that are around. So a lot of us have other energies in the astral that are kind of like feeding off our system, and this is why when you can fast, or when you can break your addictions and allow the body to rest, and like the amount of silence I've got in my system from just like from eating less, you know, or when I've done a fast, and you literally just feel yourself calm the hell down, you know, all the anxiety goes. It's almost like normally your body's like as if you're in London, you know, you've got all this traffic going everywhere, all doing its jobs, and then when you calm down the food or you have to do a water fast, you eat nothing, it's like you manage to centre and you can just calm and find your peace because your gut is resting. And we need our gut to rest. Like our stomach is doing stuff all the flipping time, you know, like throughout the night as well. I mean, my quality of sleep's better at certain times when I eat less or when I don't overeat, you know. So it's all up to every one of us, like for how much food we need to eat, you know. But at certain times it's worth keeping it lower and giving your body a break, because everybody needs a break at certain times, you know. So I'll just get a little bit of carrot in my food. A bit of carrot. I'm not a master chef, by the way, I just a bit rubbish at all that, but we've got a little bit of broccoli. So again, the broccoli can be a little bit bitter on the top, but it's said that we don't really like bitter foods anymore in our culture, and I think that we do need them. We need a bit more of a balance of the bitter foods, you know. Oh, that heat's nice. It's been so cold lately in England. So I tend to not like to cut things up into too little pieces personally, because I like the little texture of the you know, the feels like you're actually eating something basically. So we'll put a bit of that in. And the cucumber, of course, is hydrating all the time. You may think a cucumber might cost £1 when it's organic, you know, or whatever the equivalent of £1 is. But it is hydrating, and there'll be a lot more in there than we really realise. The same for watermelon. Apparently with watermelon, there's something that runners need inside there that helps with the muscles in their legs. And you look at it, you think, watermelon, what's that going to do, you know? To do a marathon, you need a good roast dinner or something, you know. Okay, let's see what else we got. What have we got? We have some salad and celery. So, I mean, again, this is mostly high water content food, you know. And if you do this for too long, you'll just feel like, what the hell am I doing, you know, like, I need some sustenance. And I think that's true. I think that's where I've gone on like raw food diet things for like, I don't know, 6 weeks or whatever at a time, where I've just had raw food. No eggs, nothing cooked, no rice, no lentils, just raw salads and fruit and stuff, you know. And while it's been good, at a certain point I sort of felt like something was missing, and I'm sure it was, you know. So it's very hard to just go totally like this, because you need to make sure you get everything you need, and for whatever reason I hadn't found that yet, you know. See, the only thing with this, you spend half your time making your food, but you know, you feel better, you've got more motivation to do other stuff at the times you're not making food, so we've got some salads. Just a general organic salad. I do notice the organic stuff better, but when it's from the supermarkets, even Waitrose in England, you know, it's not as good as getting it from somewhere else, you know. But it's not bad. This Waitrose one definitely seems better than the Morrison's and other. I mean, due to money reasons, we don't have a lot of money at the moment, so we're kind of like struggling to get stuff. I mean, it can cost more to eat like this, but then again, if you want to be like 80% raw, let's get the water off that. If you want to be like 80% raw, then you know, you can have stuff like what we've got, you know, rice, lentils, whatever, which will really keep you going. You know, you feel you've got some sustenance, not just like thinking, am I going to die? Which you're not going to die. You're not going to die if you eat 100% raw. You know, I did it for 6 weeks, and I think what I was lacking, I can't remember now. I felt it was probably something that's in cheese. It was probably more of the fats, a bit of like magnesium-y, B vitamins. It was definitely B vitamins that I was lacking, you know. So you can swing both ways. Like you can end up going bloody, you know, eating too much cooked stuff and frying stuff, and you know there's no life force left in the food, and then you feel like you've got no energy. Or you can go too far the other way, being just like, I'm totally raw, 100% man, no one's gonna stop me, and then like you're just like knackered because you don't have much energy, you know. But saying that, I did have more energy doing that than I do when I eat heavy carb stuff, you know. It's like the body can work more efficient, you feel energetic. I'm gonna open this window. This reminds me that, like, Dan the Man on Life Regenerator, he says about the need for fresh air, you know. And while I'm living in this van at the moment, it's like 1 minute I'm feeling like I want to close all the doors and everything because I want to be warm and we're in England. And the next minute I'm like, open the windows, I need to breathe, I'm dying, you know. And the reason I'm saying this is because Dan the Man, like, he said that he felt that number one, the most important thing is fresh air, then what you eat comes second or third or whatever he said, you know. So he really felt that, you know, that the air, the prana, the life force from the air is really important, you know. And I do feel that. So overeating, we lose energy. You know, you lose energy in your body. Okay, we're still on. So I've just chucked this nice little bit of salad on top. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. So as I say, I'm not a chef. I'm not a professional, although I could say I'm a professional raw food eater, having done it quite a lot. So I just like to mix that up a bit. And then what we have here is some organic virgin olive oil. Sunflower oil just seems a little bit, you know. So I, at the moment, because I want something nice, I'll kind of like, I don't know, put quite a bit on really. And you've got to remember, if you're raw, then you're not eating, you're not having many fats, you know, unless you're thinking like avocado, which I'm not having much avocado. It sounds strange, the reasons why I'm not having avocado. I feel like it does something to my system where I'm more open astrally. And having one here or there, you know, like, e.g. not having 2 or 3 a day, which is what I was getting addicted to, because it's maybe it's the fats, you know, maybe it's the fats, and maybe there's stuff going on in the body with the fats that's a conduit for other energies. I don't know. Maybe it's when you've got fats when you don't need it. Perhaps the fats are alright when you're out in nature and you're more in the cold, you know, but I'm living in this house and I'm in here, maybe I don't need as many fats. Whatever it is, there's more of an astral opening with the avocados, so I have to keep that lower, you know. So anyway, point is yeah, virgin olive oil can make this taste quite nice. And then what I've been doing is getting a nice little bit of lemon, half a lemon, just squeezing that on top. Now, the lemon with the olive oil can sometimes, there's a bit of a sort of weird tingy sort of aftery taste thing, so I'm not sure what happens with that. Sometimes it tastes a bit like that, you know, but I'm hoping there's not a seed in here. That's the other thing, like lemons with a seed seem to be like real lemons, you know. I don't know what's going on with the ones that don't have the seed in, but anyway, yeah, so the lemon seems to sort of just give it a nice flavour, you know, because obviously a lot of people complain about their salad, like, oh, do I have to eat salad? It's so flipping boring, you know. And I can understand where you're coming from, but as your taste buds change, as through eating a raw diet, as your taste buds change, it's not just that you appreciate the food more, it's that your taste buds, your whole tongue, your whole mouth is more sensitive because you're not overloading your system and your organs, you know. So your whole system can taste better. You know, basically that's the fundamentals of it. You can taste things as they are and truly appreciate God's given gift, which is nature, or Mother Earth's given gift, you know. And when we're eating all these fast food diets, you know, the system's just like that, you know, the personality's buggered. Like, people are just like, yeah man, yeah cool, man, yeah. Well, it's a silly example, but that's my example. Or, I don't know, what shall I do next? I can't remember. And I'm literally like that myself, like when I eat certain stuff, you know. So natural foods will invigorate you, they will inspire you, you'll feel inspired, you'll feel motivated, you'll have energy, you'll have life force, you'll be able to sing better if you're a musician, you'll be able to paint art better if you're whatever. I mean, unless you want to paint really messed up art, then I'd say just drink loads of alcohol and smoke loads of cigarettes, and you know, then you can do something really disgusting, because that's the vibration of that, you know. But if you want to connect with your spirit and you want to truly get empowered, you know, and feel this motivational energy, then I'm saying this is the way to go, you know, because these cooked foods, you're not getting the life force from it, it's sucking it out of you, it's just trying to digest it, you're just like, ugh, you know. So this is why people do the juicing and stuff, you know, because they know that the digestive system gets a break, you know. But I really like this, and this is a kind of like base level thing for me. Sometimes I may put some seeds in or something, but I tend to not want to put too many things in, because it's nice to really just taste what you're eating, you know. And it can sound like it's obsessive, you know, like obsessive about food, but really we're here to enjoy food, you know, and whether you enjoy food because it's a pizza and it's like, you know, or whether you enjoy it because it's like, it's a different thing, you know, like you're like, I feel good, you know, I feel like I'm sparking, because the life force is in there, you know, it's vibrational. So let's just see, is there anything else? Is there anything else? So at times I've put salt in my food, and what I'll say about salt is that our system is very sensitive to it, and you can easily overload your system with salt, and I think that's why it's such a big thing on the earth, you know. Salt, I have not learnt what I need to learn about it yet, but once in a while I'll put a bit of salt on here. If you're really struggling, you know, whack a bit of salt in, and avocado, and you'll be like, God, this is nice, especially with the tomatoes and that, you know. And then you've got that lemon juice in there. Herbs is something that I need to kind of like work into a little bit. Cayenne pepper, you could put some of that in, or a bit of turmeric. Turmeric powder I've been putting in, but I prefer to use real turmeric, you know. As you know, that's good for blood. So there's all these different things, what I'm trying to say is there's always different things to make a salad nice. You know, it doesn't have to be like, oh, have I got to really do that? Because once you get the ingredients right, you'll be like, God, give me more of that. You know, I need to eat that, like, through the day. I need, you know, a couple of them. The mushrooms help with that as well. So there you go. I think I'm gonna enjoy my meal. I'll probably put a little bit of herbs in that or something. Maybe a little bit of what have we got? We have this little box here full of stuff. Some cayenne pepper from a while ago. I mean, there's just so many great things from the earth, you know, there's just so many. We're so lucky. We've got so much choice. It's just, are we wise enough to know what we need? Are we wise enough to use it? You know? Still going. Still going, right. We'll make it around 20 minutes or 22 minutes or something. Fennel seeds, I really like them. I really like fennel seeds at times. Maybe I should put a few of them on there. You've got fenugreek, oregano. Oregano, as you know, goes with tomatoes and that. Just put a couple of these in there. I've noticed, like, when you put some of these herbs and spices on, you don't want to overdo it. Like, you know, it's subtlety is the key. Like, you know, you don't, because if I go and put, like, you know, loads of this cayenne pepper in here right now, it's just like, whoa, You know, you want to, well, it's up to whoever, it's up to the individual how much they want of something, but this can be quite nice, you know, because it's spicy. So there you go, you can make a salad really nice, you know, and you can be grateful. That's the thing. When you eat these natural foods, there's a lot of gratitude. Whereas when you eat something that, like just pizzas all the time, you might have gratitude the first time. You might be like, yeah, this is nice. But then you eat it the third day, or, you know, you eat it a couple of days later, you just get into junk food. You don't feel that gratitude anymore, you know. And that isn't what we want, you know. You don't want to be living a life where you don't feel grateful for stuff, and you just like, you just want it, but it doesn't ever fulfill you, you know. This stuff fulfills you, and when you feel fulfilled from life foods, when you feel fulfilled, everything else in your life's right, you know. So all kinds of addictions can really wreak havoc in people's lives, and I see it all around me. I see people all around me who get pulled into that, and I'm trying not to do it now, because a life is an opportunity. A life is a great opportunity, and we all have the spark of divine. We all have a massive opportunity here on the earth to experience wonderful things. But I'm telling you that our addictions and the things that we habitually do and feel like we need keep us so limited, and we're so much greater than that. We've got so much more to us. So on that note, I'm going to go and have my nice little meal and feel inspired and maybe go for a run and do something really cool. So take care everyone, and thanks for listening.